Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Legend, and I'm back with another video. Now, I know it's been a while since I uploaded. I've been out the hospital for a couple days now. I'm still in the recovery process, but I'm good enough to upload. So, you already know what this is just by looking at the thumbnail. But without further ado, let's just get into this so we can get into the video. We start this episode off with Sakura as she burst into Lady Tsunade's office. Lady Tsunade, Kiba, he turned traitor and attacked our team on the mission. Hanabi stayed back to hold him off while I informed you. Sakura then started to hyperventilate. He turned, he. Sakura, you need to breathe and calm down. Sakura took a breath and then another. He transformed into some type of beast. He grew in size and stature as his chakra reserves matched that of a Kage level shinobi. He even killed his own Ninken. Tsunade said nothing. She just soaked up all of this information. She then sighed. Now she had to waste material to track down this disgrace of a shinobi in the middle of a damn war. And to make matters worse, she said she wouldn't drink in times like these. She didn't even know who she could send to go after the bastard. She wouldn't send Guy. She didn't trust him to complete the job. Lee was the academy taijutsu instructor, but also permanently crippled till she got a chance to look at his leg from the knee down. And it was thanks to Naruto that he was crippled. It happened in the preliminaries of the tuning exams. Tenten retired after her team disbanded. Ino was at an acceptable level in taijutsu. Tsunade sighed. Just then Hanabi burst into the office. Sweat covered her body as she stood tall, still trying to catch her breath. Her hands were slightly singed after striking Kiba, so she bandaged them to the best of her ability. But there were still burns that you could still see. Time skip. 1 hour later, Naruto stood in front of Tsunade, and he was pissed. Hanabi and Sakura sat on the couch that was behind Naruto. I'm not wasting my time to look for Kiba. There is more important things I could be doing. And I'm not the best candidate for this task anyway, because if I see him anywhere, I'm going to kill him. Tsunade was in no mood to retort, so she just dropped the subject. Also, Naruto, Danzo left these letters for you. I can't open it, so it's meant for your eyes only. Tsunade handed over the letter that was sealed in a scroll with 2 seals on it. One for Naruto to open and the other one was set up so that it would catch fire if someone else tried to force it open. Naruto took the scroll and nodded to Tsunade. She looked at him expectantly, like she wanted him to read it out loud. Is there anything else that you need, Lady Tsunade? Her eyebrow twitched a little, but she said no. Meanwhile, with Shisui and Konan, they appeared a mile from the gates of Kumo, from a swirling vortex. Why didn't we just go straight into the village? Asked Konan. Shisui looked at Konan. It's to send a message. As we walk and get closer, more Kumo shinobi will attack us, and me alone could take out at least a quarter of the Kumo shinobi's population on a bad day. We won't kill these people who attack us. We will maim and wound them. The Raikage will take this into consideration when we offer our proposal when we make it. He will most likely give up the 2 tails since the 8 tails is his brother. Konan thought about it. It was smart. It made sense. So she went with it. They took 5 steps before Shisui snapped his head to the left, blocked the hill of kunai, and then he vanished as Konan heard what sounded like a wet snapping sound that was followed by a scream before Shisui came back. That's 1 for me and 0 for Conan. Conan looked at him. He was trying to make hurting people and breaking bones into a childish game. Conan smirked before she sprouted wings and flew off. Back with Naruto. He sat on his bed as he opened the scroll and started to read. Naruto. The only possible way that you're reading this is if I'm dead or you somehow became acting Hokage. Either way, if you're reading this, I'm not around. You may wonder why I took a shine to you. It's simple. You have the potential to do what I wanted to do for this village. You're like me, but also not like me. You have a lot of questions, and I know that. For example, your mother did not die due to the Kyuubi attack. She died in the aftermath. Sarutobi wanted to use you the same way he wanted to use your mother, but he could not because she was with your father. I also wanted to use you, but I went against it and let you be. I had my agents watch you from the shadows along with Hiruzen, and what I hear from him sickened me. He wanted to use you as a political tool, political material. He wanted to give you fake happiness, to try and bring peace with all other nations. Rather naive. There is no way in hell this plan would work. He wanted to get you into an arranged marriage with all the other nations. There were so many flaws in the plan that it was pathetic. For one, you are the son of the 4th Hokage and the stone hates him with everything that they have. Kumo is greedy and a power-hungry village. What's stopping them from breaking the alliance and abducting you? The sand would try to use you to strip away your political power for money. And during the time of all of this, the mist was at war with itself. What would they have to offer? They have nothing. They would try to milk us for as much as they could get, and we would gain nothing. But enough about that. You may have thought that this was for Sai, but you would do better job of it. I leave all of the finest root agents to you. You will be the one to lead them, and you will now know of the secret I have kept from everyone. Behind the monument of the Hokage's faces, there is a subtle genjutsu. Release it, and you will find a small home. In that home, you will find Konoha's strongest weapon. At least, that's how I call it. To you, you may call it a person. With that, the letter ended. Naruto felt lost. What the hell did Danzo expect from him? He died and now he wanted him to take over where he left off. And what the hell was he talking about Leaf's strongest weapon? He's never heard of such a thing. But Naruto felt anger build up inside him. Sarutobi was lucky that he was already dead. If he wasn't, Naruto would have killed him himself and it would be personal. He had his mother murdered for such a pathetic reason. He needed to blow off some steam. It's always one thing after another. Meanwhile, Kiba stood in front of the Raikage as he opened up his cloak to show a small storage seal. He placed his hand on it and out came the scroll of sealing, the very one created by the second Hokage. The Raikage looked unimpressed, but because of the scroll, no, not because of that, because of Kiba, he was nothing special. He looked fragile, like he would break if he stood in the wind. Now, he was powerful, but only because of the puppetry seal that was placed on him. That funneled the Raikage's chakra through his system. But then again, he was probably mid to high Jonin with the Raikage's chakra, with Tsunade level of reserves. Truly pathetic, since the chakra gave him a boost in ability. He wished his subordinate could have gotten someone more stronger, especially with what happened only mere hours ago. Flashback. The Raikage was in a council meeting discussing their next plan of attack to cripple the Leaf Village. Someone then knocked on a door, a subtle tune, and then the door was just shredded to pieces. Shisui and Konan came in with their Akatsuki cloaks on. The Raikage leaped forward but passed through Konan as she burst into paper. I still refuse to believe that you broke and maimed 94 shinobi in Kunoichi while I only maimed 69. Konan looked at Shisui with a blank expression. Just because you can supposedly teleport doesn't mean you would win. Besides, it's easier to do damage from above where people can't see you. Shisui had to duck as one of the shinobi councilwomen swung a kunai at him and retorted by punching her in the throat. Shisui now looked serious as the woman gasped for air. A word with you, Raikage. A flared his chakra as his lightning armor formed. Lariat! Shisui's Sharingan spun as A froze. We didn't come here to fight. We want to make a proposal. And if any of these weaklings in this room so much as try to attack us, I'll burn them all alive before burning you alive and leveling your entire village. We already dealt with almost 200 of your men, and we held back. A looked into the dangerous pattern of the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Everyone, get out, and don't come back till I say so. A wasn't going to take that chance. He knew this man was an Uchiha, and the last Uchiha he fought took his arm, and he was inexperienced. Good, you understand the position you're in. I paralyzed you with a single look. Now, here's what's going to happen. You will give us the two tails, and we leave your village alone. If not, this village will burn. End of flashback. The Raikage was given 2 days to think about it. If he gave over Yugito, he would get paid. If not, his home would suffer. Yugito was none the wiser. Currently, she stood in her home, leaning against the wall with C in front of her. For the last time, I don't see you that way. The only reason why we fucked in the first place was so I could relieve some stress. And not much was relieved. C felt insulted. Did he not do a good job? Was he too small? Was his pace off? And no, you were fine in bed, but like I said before, I want someone who will actually fuck me, not someone like you who only wishes to make love to me. C was feeling angry. Who the hell did she think she was rejecting him? C then did something really stupid, or smart, depending on what the reaction he was looking for. He slapped her. Yugito held her cheek as she slowly turned to look at C. Now, where was that energy when we fucked? She stepped towards him, and C took a step back, and now he was against the wall as she looked up at him. I'll give you one chance. Keep this energy in the bedroom and I'm yours. Disappoint me, and I'll beat the hell out of you for hitting me. Yugito then crashed her lips into C's as her tongue quickly found its way into his mouth. She moved fast as her hands moved south into his pants. Meanwhile, Naruto stood atop the Hokage faces. He looked around and saw nothing. Release. With that, there was a ripple, and then there was a small house, big enough for 2 people. Naruto walked up and knocked on a door. He didn't know what to expect. He was going to do this and then get back to Tsunade with a small portion of the information that he chose to give her. A woman opened the door. She stood at around 5'8", long black hair that came down to the middle of her back, a heart-shaped face, a fit-looking hourglass figure with the outline of 4-pack abs, soft pink lips, C-cup bosom. Naruto was confused. There was nothing that made this woman seem like a weapon at all. She was, well, nice to look at. Why does Danzo have such high regards for you? Asked Naruto. The woman said nothing, as she simply sent chakra to her eyes. Naruto was in shock. It was a Sharingan and Byakugan mix. a white three-tomo Sharingan with veins bulging from the side of her eyes. Does this answer your question? Her voice was not what he expected it to sound like. It wasn't angelic. It was feminine, yes, but it was more of that of a kunoichi who was retired from Anbu. Naruto tilted his head with a smile. Meet me at training ground 7 in 2 minutes. With that, Naruto shunshined away and appeared at the training grounds. Naruto had to look twice and was confused. How the hell? When he arrived, she was sitting up on a tree branch looking down at him. She jumped down and walked up to him. So, what? You want to fight me and test my ability? Fine with me. Naruto smiled and placed up a barrier. Naruto took up a stance as the woman did the same. No rules, said Naruto. The two burst off, looking like blurs and shadows. They then jumped back, with a few scuffs on Naruto's clothes. By the time Naruto hit her once, she had already hit him 8 times. Your speed is unnatural. Very impressive, she retorted. Did you expect me to be slow? Naruto smirked as he started to remove his weights. As he rolled his limbs and neck, he then shot forward as the woman caught his fist, the ground cracking underneath their feet from the pressure. The two smirked as they started to do another exchange. They punched, kicked, and dodged as they now fought at a more even speed. The woman then started to smirk as Naruto finally noticed it. His right arm felt extremely heavy, and it was slowing him down just a bit. He jumped back, his right arm now starting to throb as he rolled up his sleeve. His entire arm was red from the shoulder all the way down to his fingertips. Naruto looked at his arm in shock. I've almost memorized all of the chakra points without my dojutsu. Your arm is in that condition because I only nicked your points, causing your muscles to fracture and contract onto himself. Naruto flushed the Fox's chakra throughout his arm and healed it. Naruto was not done with the test though. That was impressive. Even without my weights, you still best me. But Naruto then lit up with a golden aura, calling on Kurama's chakra. How far can you really go? The woman smiled as she activated her dojutsu. I can go as far as you wish. She then took off her weights and dropped them as they landed with a boom. Even with your friend at your side, you won't win. Naruto smiled. Usually I hate that Uchiha arrogance, but it kind of fits you. But I'm still not done. Naruto activated his lightning cloak as it sparked red and danced around his form as they soon turned white. Before Naruto could speak, she appeared in front of him. Naruto ducked and swiftly moved around her with finesse, but she met him with a knee, which he caught. She then turned and thrust her palm out as a clone poofed into existence, but he poofed right into her palm and immediately dispelled. Naruto rose an eyebrow before flicking a kunai at her, but she rolled out of the way and pointed 2 fingers at Naruto. Razor's edge. A mix of wind and lightning shot from her fingertips like a spear as Naruto raised his own 2 fingers, pointed wind. The two attacks collided and blew up on each other in a small radius. The woman then deactivated her dojutsu, causing Naruto to raise an eyebrow. You were about to call the fight, so there is no need to waste a chakra. Naruto tilted his head. And how do you know that? Simple. The baseline ability of my dojutsu allows me to see 2 seconds into the future. Naruto blinked. Did he just hear that properly? She can literally see into the near future, but only when her dojutsu is active. Good fight. We should do this again. You're the only one who was able to push me to activate my dojutsu. Naruto looked up at the retreating girl. What's your name? She stopped and turned. Araya Uchiha. Time skip. 30 minutes later, Naruto told Tsunade what he felt she should know. Basically that he now has his own group of assassins that report to him and him alone. There was someone stronger than him that reports only to him, and that he would act as her second voice when needed. Meanwhile, off in the distance, hello? You know, it was very hard to find you, Miss Seven. Fu jumped back, but was immediately restrained. She felt her chakra being sucked away. Too easy. Super Toby does very good job. Super Toby then stopped. The surrounding temperature felt like it dropped a few degrees. You would be the perfect vessel for my master. Super Toby spun around and was met by a woman. Oh, hello, I'm Super Toby, strongest man alive. I hunt people with tail beasts in them. Who are you? You are not needed. I want who's inside you. Mondis then moved off, fast, and with grace, her right hand morphing into a small dagger. She was trying to rid this parasite from the vessel needed by her master. She stabbed forward, but a wood wall halted her attack. A much deeper voice then started to speak. I can't let you have your way. You're not a part of the plan anyway, but your blood could make an interesting factor down the line if things go south. The wood wall then crumbled, and now Super Toby was now both black and white, with a swirling mask as the two colors formed a pattern. A white snake slithered out of Mondis' sleeve up to her ear and hissed. Master wants to know how you are alive. He sent his snakes to watch over the fight, and he saw you die. Black Zetsu then spoke. Wherever I go, I always leave behind a trail. If I leave a trail on a living thing, it allows me to take up new life and reform if I die. I was attached to this Zetsu. Therefore, I left my saplings on him. Mondis moved off. The curse mark started to form on her body in a flame-like pattern, increasing her ability. Black Zetsu moved as well. You stand no chance. I'll drain you of your chakra. I have the ability to do so. Black Zetsu then flashed through hand signs. Wood style. Wooden dragon jutsu. Mondis swung her right appendage as a blade of wind sliced through the dragon, cutting it in two. She continued her pursuit as lightning coated the dagger that was now her hand. Water style. Water wall. A massive wall of water erupted in front of Zetsu as he jumped away. He then hit something as he backed into it. It was soft but firm at the same time. He turned and swung a fist at Mondis, but she exploded, sending Zetsu flying. She did that when I made the water wall. Zetsu hit into a tree as the top half of Mondis emerged from it and wrapped her arms around Zetsu in a chokehold, pinning him as he struggled. The real Mondis then flashed in front of him and plunged a dagger into him, paralyzing him and constricting his body. His body then split open, revealing Yamato as she grabbed him and slung him over her back, as she then jumped away, bursting through the waterfall. The white part of Zetsu started to wilt like a dying tree, while the black part began to decompose into the ground. 1 hour later, Yamato lay on the table, strapped down as his body pulsed with a dark energy. He had the curse seal on his neck, hence the purple glow around him. Mondis took a small white snake that was Orochimaru and placed it on the body as it slithered up to Yamato's mouth, going inside. The effects were near instantaneous. Yamato started to thrash his head, and things on his body started to bulge and his eyes cried blood. It soon stopped as his features slowly changed. Short brown hair became long and black. Cream skin became sickly pale. Eyes became slitted and yellow like a snake as his overall stature changed. A grin split across his face. This body was a huge improvement, but He had to take a day to rest and get used to it. He was happy with Mondis, even when he was nothing but a weak reptile. She served him loyally. She deserved a reward. His grin became sick as he looked over her. Come here, Mondis. She stepped forward as he grabbed her by the hips and vanished in the sunshine. They appeared in a nice, luxurious bedroom in the base of the hidden grass. Mondis took in her surroundings and understood. Do you wish for me to spread my legs for you, master? Orochimaru cut off. I'm not going to read this simply because you already know how explicit this part about to get. So we gonna have to hit a quick time skip right here. Meanwhile, Naruto sighed. He had shit to do and it would take him away from the village. He had to go and meet up with Itachi. Now that he took over Danzo's role, he was now linked to Jiraiya's spy network. So he had to link with Itachi about the case of Yugito Ni and the Two Tails Jinchuriki. Naruto was currently at the border of Fire Country. He already informed Tsunade, rather he was forced to upon stumbling across the information in Danzo's notes. She took it well. She gave him no trouble about it and just gave a genuine be careful. And he was on his way. Naruto looked up upon hearing the sound of crows calling as Itachi appeared on a tree branch. I didn't think you would come in person after all. You, a temporary leader of Suna. Itachi watched as Naruto jumped up next to him. I'm just a clone. Naruto settled himself on the branch. So what's this about the Two Tails? Itachi nodded. We were able to get her out of Kumo. The Raikage chose to get rid of her and just keep his village safe. She will be out of the village within the day. Meet me here in 12 hours, and I can get you there to retrieve her. Naruto nodded. Meanwhile, A had Yugito in his office. This is an S-rank assassination mission. Your target is the Hokage. You leave tomorrow at first light. You have 13 hours to prepare. Yugito left the office and C, Darui, Samui, Karui, and Omui walked in. You all have an S-rank mission. I need you to protect Yugito with your life while she does her mission. Here's the problem. There is going to be a party that will come to intercept her and take her away. She doesn't know, but she suspects something up. You are dismissed. Time skip. The next day, Naruto stood next to Araya, Itachi, and Shisui as a swirling vortex opened and appeared in front of them. It appeared before the tree line in the land of lightning. Now we just wait. Yugito made her way out of the village gates, and she definitely knew something was up now because she could feel 5 chakra signatures following her at a distance. She only acted as though she didn't notice. She left the village and took off through the trees at a brisk pace, as all the while keeping tabs on the signatures she could feel behind her. Kitten, stop! Yugito immediately stopped. What is it, Nibi? I can sense my brother Kurama nearby. He's very close. You mean the cute blonde from the summit? Yugito shook her head. She was supposed to be killing him, not fantasized on riding him till she hit an orgasmic bliss. Meanwhile, Naruto snapped his head up and stood. She's coming. She knows we're here though. You all stay a few paces back. Don't come out unless needed. The four shot off, moving like blurs with Naruto and Araya in the lead. They soon slowed and started to walk, as the other three stayed back while Naruto exited the tree line. 6 damn Kumo shinobi. This trap was so brain dead that Naruto wanted to laugh. The only one here who stood a chance against him was the Two Tails, who was in the back sitting on a large rock. C saw Naruto. His description: blonde hair, blue eyes, those whisker marks. This guy was who lived in Yugito's head rent free, the one that she fantasizes about. C was angry, so this was a trap? Maybe he only sent the other 5 as his insurance to keep the Two Tails, but he's also a man of his word. He doesn't care for her. He'd choose the village over one of its guardians. Yugito rose an eyebrows at this. What exactly did he mean by that? Naruto rolled his neck and popped his shoulders. Karui pulled his sword and ran at Naruto. He was confused. Was this as fast as she could go? Naruto ducked as a cleaver blade passed over his head from behind as Karui twisted mid-air and dropped a foot onto Naruto, who jumped back. So it was a distraction. I've seen better teamwork, but this could prove trouble. Naruto flared his chakra as his red lightning cloak activated as the red died down and turned into white. Yugito watched in fascination. He was obviously strong, but he was able to mimic the Raikage's lightning armor after seeing it one time, for the purpose of speed only. Naruto moved off as he grabbed Karui by the wrist. As his cold blue eyes looked down at her before snapping her wrist, she screamed as she dropped to her knees. Naruto jumped back as Samui came at him. Lightning style laser circus. Naruto found himself unable to see. He couldn't feel his chakra, but he knew it was there. He ducked as a sword took off a few strands of his hair. He then felt a small cut on his chest as he jumped away, regaining his senses. He then made a half round sign as 20 clones appeared. You all tried to outpace me with the numbers. Well, how about I make it 5-on-1, my way? Would you like them to use Kurama's power as well? All of them then lit up with the KCM, and all the Kumo Ninja were getting destroyed. Minutes later, forcing Yugito to step in, who had a fully transformed Two Tails to dispatch all 20 of the Naruto clones that used the KCM. The only Kumo Nin that was left standing was C, and he looked pissed. You look as though you have something against me. Do you want to settle it one-on-one? C went through hand signs, going to cast a genjutsu to close the distance, but with Naruto, now that he was in control of his Biju, anything that's not a Sharingan genjutsu won't hold him at all. Naruto snapped a genjutsu and sidestepped as he punched C in the face, catching him off guard. Naruto stared at C before pulling out his Tonto. Oreya smirked in the tree line. She would be able to see his skill with a short blade for once. C pulled a kunai. As it began to sparkle with lightning chakra, the two blurred and met in the middle. Blades clashing as sparks flew. Karui, who still lay on the floor in pain, did a one-handed hand sign as her cheeks puffed out. Fire style, red streaming flame. A flame came out as fast and hot and wide. She saw this and smirked as he dodged away and kicked off of Naruto's chest as Naruto was kicked into the fire. C started to laugh. Kid wasn't a challenge. Weakling. All bark, no bite. Where's all that confidence you had now? Yugito sighed. She couldn't believe she engaged in intercourse with this dumbass. He was far from dead. If you look closely, you could see that the fire was swirling in a sphere instead of a massive stream like it was supposed to. You could even hear the faint shrieking sound of a jutsu underneath all the fire. Karui released her technique, and it all was pulled into the center where Naruto held the wind-style Rasen Shuriken. That pulled in the surrounding fire, neutralizing all of it before canceling the jutsu. Karui looked on in disbelief. C was shocked. Yugito was more intrigued and a little aroused. Naruto turned to Karui with a steel gaze that made her flinch. Run. I don't like hurting women unless needed. I already snapped your wrist with a little effort. Next time, I'll send a kunai through your skull. Karui took the advice and ran. That explains why she wasn't dead. Omui was half dead. Darui had a collapsed lung, causing him to slowly die. C was sure to die, and Samui was only unconscious. Naruto turned back to C, who looked at him with a glare. Don't blink, you may miss me. Naruto disappeared, and the next moment, C couldn't feel his legs. Naruto had severed his spinal connection with only a precise jab with his tanto. I'm going to take you alive. There's someone that I know who really would love to make you feel what she felt. The only reason why no harm came to that one over there is because she hasn't decided to fight yet. Yugito felt offended by his words. She was unharmed because of a whim? She was already in a semi-bad mood after hearing that the Raikage planned on giving her up, but now he say she was unharmed because she started no conflict? She would show him. Yugito pounced at Naruto, who was grabbing C, and jumped back. I won't stand by while you talk down on me like I'm some mere child. Naruto paid no attention to her as he knocked C out and stuffed him into a scroll. If you want to fight, that's fine, but I won't bother dirtying my hands on you. I'd probably end up killing you by accident. Right now, it's taking all of my willpower not to split you open from cunt to mouth. I'll let the weakest of my group deal with you. Naruto turned his back and started to walk off, infuriating Yugito. She lunged at him, but he wasn't dodging. He just kept walking as if he was oblivious to her assault. Fine by her. This prig just called her weak. Her attack was halted, however. She was surprised. A woman stood there, holding her by her extended nails. And there were two more people, all with dojutsu. How were they there? When did they get there? She didn't even sense them. But guys, I'm going to end it off right here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. But without further ado, I'm out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.